16th. What a beautiful morning in Nebraska. Just driving through the sand hills, going to work. So yesterday evening, I had a fairly productive session of the Productivity Power Hour. I did, let's see, I got new thicker nylon strings on my weed whacker. I did hit that northeast side of my property, which is just overgrown with a bunch of really thick weeds and grass, and has the big logs, the big, tree trunk logs. So I pulled the tree trunk logs out for the most part, and was weed whacking a bit, but I realized that I'm really going to need to get in there with a decent sized metal rake, get all that crap pulled out and then piled up and take it out to the landscape dump, just to clean up that corner, because it's a mess, man. There's a lot of just dead leaves and bark, and like I said, huge thick weeds that when I weed whacked them down, I mean they're long leaves and long stems. I just need to get in there with a rake and really give her a good cleaning, and then pile all that up like you would a pile of leaves, and just throw it in the back of my truck and take it out to the dump. So what else did I get done? I crawled down into the crawl space again to empty the dehumidifier, so that's running really well. Kind of organized a little bit in the shop, but not too much. And then I just weed whacked a bit around the property, some of the places I couldn't get over the weekend, but still have a bit to do. So I'm happy so far with where I'm at. But I realized, because I was kind of having a downer session, not a downer session, but just kind of not really knowing what to focus on. I realized I need to kind of go get a plan together before I go home. So while I'm at work and I have a minute to spare, I need to kind of put a list together and just visualize what it is I want to get accomplished that evening. So this evening I'm going to try to do that, but I won't have a lot of time because I'm going to my mom's to clean up her property. So I'll be working over there, and the reason we're doing it on a Tuesday, we usually do it on a Wednesday, but they come and get the yard waste on Wednesday mornings, so we figured it'd be better to have me come over and help her clean up what needs to be cleaned up in the back of her yard tonight, so we can get her all of the lawn waste and whatnot put out on the curb tomorrow. So I did get up this morning, got another 45-minute bike ride in, just loving it. I'm loving the consistency with that. I feel good. I don't really have, when you're not drinking, there's nothing really tells you don't want to do it. Well, no, that's not true. But there's nothing really holding you back. Because I know, like, when you drink and you wake up in the morning hungover, or you have that lethargic feeling from drinking, it just is a huge barrier in your mind to motivating you to get on the bike. And I don't really feel like I have that. I did cook. That was the other thing I did. Is I kind of used this Productivity Power Hour to throw together a beef stew in the crock pot. So I was cooking for 2 of the 15-minute sessions. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and so I just throw it all together, throw it in the crock pot, let it cook overnight. I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. To the smell of some beef stew that was just so good. It smelled so delicious. And then I spent the next 20 minutes pulling the meat out and just shredding it, because it was all tenderized. I had 2 different cuts of beef in there, and I took out all the fat, trimmed all the fat off of that, and took that out and fed it to the cats. But yeah, I think really just focusing on what I want to get accomplished is going to be a big part of being successful with this, because I got a lot of the big stuff done, that's visually always weighing on me, in the lawn. But there's a couple of things that I want to still do within the lawn that are less, less hard on the eyes, I guess. I mean, the lawn looks great, but there's different, like right around where my garage, the shop is, there's a bunch of tiger lilies, but there's also a bunch of invasive weeds and vine plants, and there's some elm trees trying to grow, and some honey locusts trying to grow. So I got to get those out. Those are really bad. They're like, the elm trees and honey locust trees are trees that kind of grow like weeds. I mean, they spit their seeds everywhere, and then you'll just have them start to try to grow everywhere. And if you don't stay on top of them, they'll just completely infest your yard. So that's something I got to work on. But yeah, just coming up with a list, and then like just the little things, like the little things I don't think about because I don't see it every day. But I see it like every once in a while. And I'm like, oh, that's something I got to get done. Like for example, I have these 2 stools sitting in my shop that are decent stools, but they're really not that sturdy. And I'm going to reinforce them with 2x4s so I can put them in my pool room. And that way, when I'm playing pool, I can, I'll have a place to sit. But I just need it to be more stable. Because for me, being a 250-pound guy, that's you need really sturdy furniture. So yeah, I don't feel comfortable on them. I've already had 2 of those stools break. Right now, they're just being used by my oldest cat, Yoda, as a little sleeping resting bench. So I also have, I had to finish up in the shop. I had to finish up putting what insulation I have on the inside, and then I need to keep getting more of the OBS 7/16 plywood to put up as for the wall. And that's been going pretty well. I'm almost done, honestly. I'm on the finish line with that, so it's just really a matter of getting it done. And honestly, I need to do that before I go down to Lincoln this next weekend, because if I need to get more insulation, that's the time to do it, really. So yeah, so I'm heading into work. I didn't do a nightly mantra last night, which kind of sad, because I do love those, but I need to make sure I'm doing them at night, because sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and kind of do them in the morning instead. And really, I need to do the gratitude in the morning and the nightly mantras at night. So I need to stick with that routine, and it's just a matter of getting in that routine. I stopped probably around 7:45 last night doing the Productivity Power Hour. I had a bomb-ass meal, which was been my normal lately. It's just that, the taco, burrito, whatever. Eating a lot of cheese, so maybe I need to watch that. Maybe I need to cut the cheese out a little bit. But cheese is so good, it's kind of my vice now. Now that I'm not drinking, well, it's always been my vice, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, headed into town. What else am I going to do today? I'm going to go and see about, get a cost estimate on what it's going to take to replace my tires on my Tacoma, and get a quote for a brake job as well, just so I can get an idea, because I need to get that thing up. I'm not comfortable driving it right now back and forth into town, because the back tires are so bald that they're gonna pop at some point. So and they're loud. I mean, that truck is so loud. It's such a nice truck and a nice traveling truck. I just want to be able to rely on it and not worry about it when I get into it. So get into it to drive. So I'm gonna do that over my lunch hour, I think, and it's gonna be a hot ass day today, which, you know, I mean, it's June, so that's expected, but it's been so nice. I've been so spoiled that it's almost sad to see the 90 degrees hit again. Yeah, so that's the plan today. So I guess I'm going to sign off, but I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you later.